For stress relief and sleep aid, nothing beats watching outdoor builds. The smooth pounding with a heavy hammer is so satisfying. Truly stress relieving. Every step of the building process feels like pure enjoyment. Even someone with OCD wouldn't find a single flaw. Jerry, who loves outdoor life, was bored staying at home, so today he decided to build in the wild again. After walking for who knows how long, he came across many trees knocked down by the wind. Instead of letting them rot, he thought, why not make use of them? With this idea in mind, he grabbed a shovel and started digging. His plan, dig the foundation for a cabin. The soil here was hard, but luckily Jerry was young and full of energy. After 2.5 hours of non-stop digging, a neat square pit appeared before his eyes, half a meter deep, just enough for him to live in. Then he began working on the fallen logs. They were perfect materials for building walls. He first used his axe to remove the extra branches. Then he sawed them into suitable lengths. Before using the logs, Jerry scraped off the bark with a blade, making them not only look better but also more durable. Once he gathered enough logs, the cabin construction officially began. He hammered stakes into the ground, fitting the logs tightly between the gaps. After drilling holes by hand, he hammered in wooden pegs to hold them together. These weren't just for the walls. They were the main load-bearing supports of the cabin. As long as the logs fit tightly, the walls would be solid and strong. He filled the gaps between logs with moss to block out the wind, making sure not a single breeze slipped inside. For the other walls, he repeated the same process. It was extremely exhausting work. After 3 hours of effort, Jerry finally finished building 3 walls. Each wall looked neat and well aligned, so precise that even perfectionists would be satisfied. Not a single flaw could be found. Before building the final wall, Jerry decided to construct a fireplace. After all, the jungle at night is damp and chilly. A fireplace makes a home truly comfortable, since he had already reserved a proper spot earlier. Therefore, the fireplace didn't take much time to build. Once done, he found a dry wooden plank to make the cabin door. But before using it, he trimmed it flat with his axe. The wood shavings he cut off could even be used as kindling for the fireplace. The fire gave him a true sense of warmth and home. After testing that the smoke vented properly, he continued with the final wall. This wall required space for both a door and a window. So once he built it to a certain height, he left openings in the logs, so the carving process would be smoother later. By carving another log the same way, Jerry shaped out a perfect-sized window. When the last log was placed, the cabin was nearly complete. Since he hadn't brought hinges, the door installation was more challenging. He carefully carved wooden pegs with a knife, then drilled matching holes into the door frame. Before assembling, he even crafted a simple wooden lock. At last, the wooden door fit perfectly, even without measuring tools. Jerry's door aligned seamlessly, closing tightly without gaps. After clearing the leftover wood chips, he began building the roof. He first fixed 2 logs on either side, then laid the prepared logs across them. Soon, he had a slanted roof. Finally, by fixing a perimeter of logs, the roof was basically complete. After lying on it to rest for a moment, he filled the gaps between logs with moss, then coated it with a layer of clay To improve insulation, he gathered dry leaves and spread them evenly over the roof. But the roof still looked a bit plain. Since Jerry loved greenery, he covered the roof with moss. Now the entire cabin blended beautifully with its surroundings. Even the yard at the entrance was decorated with lush green plants. He also dug drainage ditches around the cabin to make sure rainwater wouldn't flow inside. Soon, a heavy rainstorm arrived. Soaked by the rain, Jerry returned to his cabin and lit the fireplace. During this time, he worked on the cabin's interior. He slotted a bed frame into the grooves of the wall, building it into a 2-level bunk. The lower level could also be used for storage. For the mattress, he used pine needles, free of chemicals, and carrying a refreshing pine scent. He even crafted a small wooden bedside table. With that, the cabin's interior was nearly finished. He spread out some sheets and used pine branches as pillows, instantly making the cabin cozy. As night fell, Jerry lit 2 oil lamps and hung them by the door. After a long day's work, he finally felt a strong hunger. He first made himself a tornado potato skewer, then marinated large chunks of beef with spices. Soon, the meat was roasting over the fireplace. After just half an hour, Jerry enjoyed a hearty barbecue feast. After nearly a week of construction, Jerry could finally enjoy a comfortable life in his handmade cabin.